Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to another episode of Morning Tea. This is episode 136, you guys. It has been a minute. Welcome to Morning Tea, where we sit in our sleepwear and discuss current events. Today's tea is water, Trader Joe's water, and I also have a LaCroix right there that I'm also drinking. Okay, so I'm going to be taking down my braids. You get to see the behind the scenes of a Black woman taking her braids down and all of the build up and shit that's going to be there. We are live, Kim B. Highland J. Thank you so much. Lisa, you know what? I got you a t-shirt that says "Be You, Be True" and "Find Your Place." And then I took down your size, and then I reread your email and read that you can only do V-necks because they feel choking. So my question to you is, A, do you want a t-shirt? Because I already sent them out and I can cut it. Do you know how I do the 80s off the shoulder? I can cut the t-shirt for you and then cut the collar off, and then you can cut it a little bit more if you want to. I don't know if you'd wear that style of t-shirt. So that was my suggestion because I don't have any V-necks. Or you can just wait until if I do another order with my neighbor and I get V-necks, then I can do that there. So let me know. If you want me to send you something, I can. If you just want to wait for the V-neck, let me know. Because I took one out for you. I wrote you a letter. Then I went back in to look for your address in the email, and I was like, oh shoot, she didn't give me an address because she said that she doesn't like to be choked. Okay, so anyways, that's what that is. So hi guys, I'm taking down my braids. So let me tell you a little bit about these braids. I got them probably at the end of May, and my hair is short and broken off and terrible, right? But I love braids and I want my hair to grow, so I'm attempting this time, the third time's the charm, to baby it to life. And I'm taking pills, so my nails are really strong and my skin is doing okay, but my hair is just not loving that biotin. So I'm not going to do something crazy, not crazy, but I don't care about it enough to go to the doctor to try to figure out what's wrong. So I just want to try to use oils, juices and berries, and see what happens. I think it's just because I'm getting older and my mom is bald in the center. And so I think it's just hereditary. And so that's what's happening to me. Anyways, these braids I got done, and about even when I was in Tennessee, which it was 3 weeks in, the braids were already falling out because she didn't do them correct. So all of this is gone. It's already out. They've fallen out. Some of them I cut. Some of these right here I just took out because they were holding on by the hair of their chinny chin chin, and I just didn't want the tension on my scalp. But now I'm just going to cut them all off and do a deep condition while I talk to you about what's going on in the world, since I missed 2 weeks of morning tea because I was, I don't know what I was doing, girl. All right, so Lynn J, thank you so much for doing the Lord's work. If someone says something crazy, just go on ahead and hide them from the channel because I won't be looking over to the side that much. So everyone's just saying hi. And yeah, we're taking these down. Did I really just catch a live chat? Yeah, you did, Cool Modi. Like Kool-Aid, that was great. Okay, so some of that happened to me. Yeah. So it's funny because the person who did my hair is reaching out to me and she's like, I have a discount. And if you do this, you're in a raffle, or, I'm in a new shop now. And I want to be like, sis, I'm good. So I'm just going to pay somebody too much money to do my hair well so that it stays in longer. And I explained the new person, I sent her pictures. I sent her pictures and everything and told her, if you can't do my hair, then just let me know. But she just thought she could do it. Anyways, so yeah, let's get into these topics. Okay, so the first topic that we're going to talk about, because I felt like it's kind of near and dear to my heart, and I just finished talking to my dad about it, is the controversy with the YouTube, the person who works for YouTube, Christopher Cukor. So Christopher Cukor lives in San Francisco and there's a YouTube office in San Bruno, which I imagine isn't far from San Francisco. And he was exiting his apartment building and this black man came up behind him. So he's exiting, and this black man is coming in and takes the door before the door shuts and goes in, right? And so the part that he goes into is the area where the mailboxes are and the call boxes, right? So it's not even inside the actual apartment building. And I'm also not 100% certain if the door that the man was exiting from was one that locks, but it would seem kind of crazy to have a call box on the outside, and then you go into where the mailboxes are and then have another call box, and then you get buzzed in, you know? So I'm assuming that the door that the man kept open, the black man who like came up behind him or as the man was exiting, I don't think that door was locked. But anyway, so the man, Christopher, this is why it's near dear to my heart, because he works for YouTube. Came out later, right? And actually in the video, he's wearing like YouTube swag. He's got on like a jacket that has YouTube on it. But anyways, so he's with, the man is with his 7-year-old son. He looks to be about 7. And the black man is entering and he says, oh, you know, do you live here? And I guess the black man said no. And he's like, well, who are you here to visit? And the black man's like, none of your business, which obviously it's none of your business. And so then the man is like, well, we'll call your person then, like push the buzzer and call the person so that I can hear their voice. And the guy's like, no, I don't have to do that. And I'm not going to do that. I'm waiting for a friend. I don't know if he said he was waiting for a friend, but like, he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's none of your business. You know, so he immediately got defensive, which is his right to do. So then the YouTube guy who is white, so let me just say that he's white and the guy who comes in is black. The YouTube, see, I didn't have to unbraid that. I didn't even have to unbraid it. It just came out. Anyways, so the YouTube guy says, you know, I'm going to call the police. And so the black guy's like, call the police, like whatever. And so so he's like, yeah, you know, I didn't have to unbraid this one either. Just fell out. This is going to be so much easier than I thought. And so the guy is like, sorry, this is all over the place. The guys, they get into like, not an altercation, but the YouTube guy gets on the phone, calls the police. Meanwhile, his son is begging him to not do so. The son is like, Dad, leave this man alone. I believe him. It's fine, Dad. Don't call the police. And like, he gets very upset when his dad gets on the phone with the police, starts to cry. And the guy taking the video recording, the black guy, is like, you're on camera. This is going to go viral and you're going to be the next person to go viral for this. And the YouTube guy is like, don't threaten me. He says that on the phone while he's talking to the police officers, so he says that, right? And so obviously the police officer says something and he's like, oh no, he's threatening to put this video on the internet. And I'm just like, you knew what you were doing. So anyways, he calls the police, he gives a description of the black man, and the guy says that he's waiting for his friend. And so finally his friend pops up, Kathy, and he's like, oh, hi, Kathy. And so he like walks over to Kathy, and Kathy is like using a cane. We don't see Kathy's face, so I don't know what race Kathy is, but Kathy rolls up and then the man says to Kathy, this man is harassing me because he wanted to know if I lived in this apartment complex and who I was. And then the white man's like, oh, you're with him? He's your guest? And Kathy's like, yeah. And that was the end of it. And he said, well, all you had to do was tell me who, blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like, I didn't have to tell you shit. And he's like, don't cuss in front of my kid. And so I'm just like, he says later on, the Christopher guy, the guy who works for YouTube, he says that he did not profile the black man because he was black. He says that he has a history of his apartment building being broken into and being robbed. I don't know if specifically him or people in his building. And he also says that his father was actually killed outside of his home. Not hit, like, I guess the home he grew up in or whatever. His father was killed by a trespasser outside of his very own home. And so for Christopher, he always feels like it's necessary to confront people, which doesn't make any sense. If your father was killed by a trespasser, it wouldn't make any sense for you to confront a trespasser when you're with your son. Also, it's not like the black man actually got into the building. He was only at the area with the mailboxes, and he makes a comment and he's like, what do you think I'm here to steal? You think I'm here to steal, break into mailboxes? Like, no. And the video was posted on the 4th of July. I don't know if the incident happened on the 4th of July. It didn't seem like it because the man was taking his son to, I guess, a friend's house to hang out. So This guy, though, I was talking to my dad about it, and my dad's like, people need to be aware of themselves, and you can't have this behavior anymore. And I can read you the letter that Christopher wrote stating why it wasn't a racial issue. And it was, here, let me give you some bullet points. He says, like many in San Francisco, I live in a building with security call box, and residents in the building count on security measures. When I noticed Wesley Michelle, who is the black man, his name is Wesley, caught the door and entered the building without using the call box, I did what came naturally and asked where he was going. I wanted to be clear on this point. This is something I do regularly, regardless of who the person is. Okay, so I understand what happened. So Wesley entered the door that doesn't have security, walked past the call box, and then when Christopher was coming out, he caught the door to go in, and that's when Christopher stopped him. He said he offered to hold the door open while he used the call box to contact his friend. As he later learned, Wesley was a friend of a guest of a resident in the building, and the building resident was not expecting Wesley. And so my thing is like, but he didn't even check Kathy. Kathy isn't even the resident. So the truth is that he doesn't know his residents. He doesn't know everybody in that building. So honestly, like Wesley didn't know the person who actually lived there because he was meeting a friend there. I guess it was like a party, and I guess the friend had invited him. And so he was waiting for his friend to show up. So of course he's not going to use the call box because he doesn't know the person that actually lives there. So it's just this, I don't know. I was telling my dad that I hope that Christopher doesn't get fired, mainly because I feel like a lot of the people who get fired from their jobs because of situations like this, again, didn't even finish doing it and it just came undone. I don't think that they deserve to lose their livelihood unless they own a business and they were being shitty to a customer within their own business. So I don't know what YouTube is going to do, but I don't know. It bothers me, but like, I don't believe that this man talks to everyone like that, because my evidence is that he didn't ask Kathy, well, do you live here? I don't recognize you. Who are you going to see? And if that happened, it wasn't caught on camera because at that point, Wesley stopped recording. But the video went viral and everyone's calling this man a racist and saying all this stuff about him, that he's anti-black. And his son is there crying, so everyone's using that against him too. They're like, your son was telling you to leave and you still didn't leave. My argument is like, why would you put your son in danger if you really thought that Wesley was a trespasser? And like, what did you think was going to occur? Like, in broad daylight. And also the fact that Wesley pushed back, to me, is like a sign that he wasn't going in there to rob anybody. Like, he didn't immediately leave or like get aggressive with him. He just took out his camera and started recording and was like, look, if you walk away now, I won't put this on social media. That's what he said to him. But if you continue this, I will put this on social media and your whole life will be turned upside down. And that's exactly what happened. So anyways, that's what I think about that. You guys can leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about that. And yeah, it's just a stupid situation. And I don't know. I think the penalty is him having his business out on the street. But I don't know that necessarily he should lose his job the way I think a lot of people lose their jobs in this kind of thing. Unless he, works in HR, then it's like, okay, you have a bias. Okay, so the next topic that we're going to talk about is Juvia's Place. So Juvia's Place is a little bit of a long story. It all started in 2013. No, just kidding. I don't know when it started. But okay, so Juvia's Place is a Black beauty brand owned by a Black woman. They have amazing pigmentation in their eyeshadows. I own several palettes of theirs. All of their packaging is like Black women on front, and not only Black women, but like African women. Let me show you. It's like amazing pigmentation, and I'm going to continue talking. You can still hear me. So it's amazing pigmentation, and it's Black women represented. I believe that the woman who owns it is a Nigerian woman. Her name is Chi-Chi. And I have 5 of their palettes. Here are 3 of them that I have right here in my room. And this is the Warrior palette, which Chris got me for Christmas. And look at these colors. These are all matte. Okay. And then there's this one that I have that I purchased myself. Look at this. Almost every makeup person that I know owns a Juvia's Place palette. At least one. At least one. Okay. Even my friend who, like, I ordered a palette for her because she didn't catch it online when it went on sale. and she's Mexican. So like, it's not like, oh, this is only for Black women, you know, it's everybody. So, whew. Okay, so here's the tea on it as far as what I know the tea to be. The tea is that Juvia's Place was a small company that small Black YouTubers, makeup people were supporting back in the day. Not that far back in the day. Probably like I said, probably like 2015, 16. And Alyssa Ashley was one of those people. Now, I don't follow Alyssa Ashley because she's very fair-skinned, and like I don't follow people who have like fair skin unless they do like dope ass makeup stuff. And so I didn't follow Alyssa Ashley because I didn't know who she was, but I only heard about her because she started to complain about the fact that Juvia's Place wasn't sending her any more promo, any more products, right? And so her argument was like, I have been supporting you since the jump when no one knew you, and now that you're getting accolades from more popular white YouTubers, aka Nikki Tutorial, I'm off your PR list. So can you please send me some products? So I think when she reached out to them kindly at first, they were I don't think they got back to her in time. And so then she felt slighted. She felt like she was being dismissed now that Nikki Tutorial had taken up the mantle. So when Nikki Tutorial started using Juvia's Place in like every video, I was really proud of Chi-Chi and really happy for her because I was like, business-wise, having Nikki Tutorial talk about your fucking product is huge, right? But I don't know what it takes to have a makeup company. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And personally, like, maybe because nobody has ever sent me product, I've never been a brand ambassador for someone, I've never helped somebody build an audience. So I think that I would be like, oh, I guess they don't fuck with me anymore. Like, okay, like whatever, and go about my business. Cause I'm very big on not calling out Black people when I think they're making decisions that not necessarily are anti-Black, but like, I think it's hard to be a Black entrepreneur in this world, right? It's hard. And so when you start getting accolades from people who are going to elevate your whatever, your brand, your business, like, and you get brand new, like sometimes I think that's a symptom of being a Black person and trying to like forage in the American market. So while I personally might be like, well, F you then, business-wise, I'm like, okay, that's how you want to get down, that's fine. We can go our separate ways, like whatever. But Alyssa Ashley took to the interwebs to call the company out. And then she ended up just looking like a mad YouTuber who wasn't getting free product anymore. Because that's the way I took it. And I think a lot of people took it that way. And I was like, And I didn't like a lot of the people. I think that the building a brand or building a company as a Black person in the US is really hard. And when you have Black people who go against you, even though they might be telling the truth, when you have Black people that go against you, it fucking sucks. Like when I had a run-in with this like t-shirt making company called Bearded Kings and their customer service, and it was really shitty for me, and I called them out on YouTube, and that was the last time I had done anything like that, and that was like 4 years ago, and I feel bad that I did it. I took the video down 2 weeks later after I got my product and after they apologized, because I felt like it was a shitty thing to do, even though they were shitty to me. I felt like for me to get on my platform, and I had such a small platform back then, girl. So like, it doesn't even matter. But like at the time I was like, you know what, Wahima, like just because you have a personal grievance about the way they handle customer service doesn't mean that you need to make it so that nobody wants to work with them or has a bad taste in their mouth. Like it's already hard enough, why make it harder? So when what's her name? Alyssa Ashley, when she did it, I was like, oh, she's just being like, whatever, girl, like, we'll leave it alone. And then so Juvia's Place continued to thrive, right? And I still continued to buy their shit because their shit was bomb and it was owned by a Black woman and I want her pockets to be filled. So I continued, right? And then recently what happened is there was a complexion line that Juvia's Place dropped. So Juvia's Place dropped a complexion line all of a sudden, and the world was shooketh, right? Because we were waiting. And so I'm not sure who they got to use or who they sent PR to. I'm not sure the details when it comes to that. But what I do know is that Jeffree Star took his ass to Ulta, filmed himself going to Ulta and buying Juvia's Place products. So he went, spent his own coin and bought it, tried it out, gave it the Jeffree Star seal of approval, and Juvia's Place featured that on their channel. And the blacks were in an uproar because Jeffree Star is a known racist and blah, 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 blah. And how dare you highlight him, blah, 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 blah. So I don't think that it's every black business's job to be racially, to be politically cognizant or politically conscious, right? So that was a choice that Juvia's Place made. Maybe they didn't really understand, or maybe they're just like, look, a couple of blacks are mad at Jeffree Star, but Jeffree Star is going to take our company to the next level. And I got kids and family to feed, so this is what I'm going to do. I don't think it's their job to be politically responsible or politically conscious. Now, in some cases, I might think it is, but in this case, I don't think it is. So I can't say that 100% no one should be politically responsible. Like, I think that Kanye West should be politically responsible, but at the same time, I think that maybe he shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still on the fence with this. And for Juvia's Place, because they're a business, I don't think it. But so that was my thought. And I was like, these people just need to calm down because y'all are not paying her bills. And maybe now that, you know, Nikki Tutorial and like Jeffree Star is fucking putting them on the map, maybe they're making so much money and they can't fulfill orders and like it's overwhelming. Like, you don't know what's going on business wise for them. And so anyways, that was my initial thought because I always assume positive intent. And then the war started. So Ashley said some shit like, oh, now that you have a complexion line, you're supporting and sending them out to the whites and you're not sending them out to the black people who started you early. But, you know, this was Ashley because she had already been stopped with them. So it's not like she was waiting for complexion still and still didn't get it. No, she's already done with them. But she was like, fuck it, I'm going to say what I need to say. And this is what I need to say. So she like put them up, started talking about her situation again, started talking about how, you know, Juvia's Place does this, this, and this. And then Jackie Aina joined the group, girl. And then Chi-Chi joined. And that's when I was like, girl, you cannot fight these people. Let them talk shit about you and you keep it classy and keep it moving. But she went on the Twitters and I feel like I have so many braids left, and just started talking shit about them and like talking back and being rude. And I was like, sis, you messed it up now. You should definitely 100% not be engaging in this conversation because you are a brand at this point. You're not seen as Chi-Chi the individual. You're seen as Juvia's Place, and now you make your brand look petty. Oh, girl, don't do it. Don't do it. Now, like I say, I don't know what's going on all behind the scenes. I don't know what the conversation was with Jackie and Alyssa. I don't know at all. But what I do know is that if I were them, I don't know that I would have gone on a platform nationally talking about her because I don't want her business to tank. Like, because she doesn't, you know, not all skin folk is kinfolk is very real. And I can't manage how somebody else does their business unless I am directly affected coint-wise. And I don't know that Ashley, Alyssa, and Jackie Aina are affected coint-wise by Juvia's Place not sending them shit or whatever the issue is. Because I'm like I said, I honestly don't know. But yeah, I look it over just 1 second. Anissa Marie says, Chi-Chi should have kept it cute, LOL. She lost lots of people there. Like, so like, yeah, I'm just like, she should have kept it cute and she didn't, girl. And she got upset. And I think she got upset in the same way. Because you remember when Petty Page came after Jackie and then Jackie got on there and said some crazy stuff about Petty Page. And I was like, damn, Jackie, that shit was crazy. It's the same thing. Like, it's the same reaction. You get frustrated that black women are... You get frustrated that your own people are talking shit about you. And so then you clap back. But I'm like, bitch, don't clap back in an email or on a public platform. You need to clap back in person where nobody's recording. That needed to be a private conversation. So anyways, I just think that, yeah, Jessie Lee, I think you're correct. It was just handled poorly on all sides. But the fact is that Jackie and Alyssa aren't going to lose any funds because of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have brands out there. I mean, they do, but they don't have like a product that is going to be severely affected. And that's my issue. So again, I'm still going to buy Juvia's Place. I know I read somewhere that somebody was like, well, I'm not going to throw away my Juvia's Place, but I'm also not going to purchase anything new. And I feel like that's counterproductive. I don't feel like I should hit her bottom line because of this. Now, maybe I don't know everything that was said. And maybe if I found out something else, I would. But if I did, I wouldn't announce it, girl. I wouldn't be on YouTube like, I'm not wearing Juvia's Place no more. Like, no, I don't care about stuff like, yeah, no, I don't care about stuff like that. I'm not going to yell anybody I'm just gonna stop. Like, I don't know if you guys remember that I got my nails. Remember I went to my nail shop, this nail shop I've been going for years. And I got there and they sat somebody before me. Girl, I have not been back. I go there to get my underarms waxed because they're the cheapest place to get my underarms waxed in this area. But every time I go in, my girl Hannah, who used to do my feet, is like, wow, I haven't seen you in so long. And I don't want to be like, bitch, you sat somebody before me. It wasn't her. But I was like, I don't think they would understand what happened. Because if I tried to explain to them what happened, I don't know that they would understand me. Because they all, like, Vietnamese is their first language. But like, I'm just like, no, I'm not coming to you anymore. I'm going to go to the place that's a little bit further where they have an automated system. When you come in, you sign in. And if they get confused, they say to you, check your phone. When you signed in, you got a text message. And whatever time you got that text message, that goes first. And that actually happened. Like, they were confused between me and this girl because I came in, signed in, and sat down, and they sat me. And then this girl came in, and she was like confused. And then I was like waiting to get my nails done, but they took her before me. I just sat in the seat with like my toes in the water, and they took her before me. And I was just like, is this happening? But then one of them said, hey, can you check your text messages to see who got in here first? Because we don't know. And I was like, well, when I got in here, nobody was in here. And she's like, the woman was like, oh, I was sitting outside. That's why. And I was like, oh, cool. So we both checked our text messages. She checked in at 11:45. I checked in at 11:55. Problem solved. Matter done. So, it was like that. So I never went back. That's how I'm just silent. I went to a new spot. I was just like, nope, I'm not doing it. Like, I know it was an honest mistake, but I was annoyed on that day. And I got the shitty nail tech because the person that you set first got the better nail tech. And my nails weren't even done good too. So I was like, no, I'm not coming back here. So what is it? Well, have you heard this theory that Chi-Chi isn't real and Juvia's place isn't really Black owned? I have not heard that. But I'm not traveling down that rabbit hole. I have not heard that. People just might be trying to do that to like get people not to buy them anymore. And I think that's a smear campaign for sure. Because if that is true, that's a whole fake situation. It's mighty, mighty fake. Anyways, I love that my hair has grown. I can see the growth. But, this is all about to shed. All about to shed. Anyways, okay, so the next topic, where's my device? Here. Okay. So anyways, that's it about Juvia's place. Jessie Lee says, I'm struggling with if I'm going to buy the foundation because it looks amazing. I'm going to buy the foundation. Listen, if it's a good foundation, I'm going to try it. But it looks a little thick. I haven't been doing a thick foundation for like a long time. I have this, I use this company called Flesh. And it comes in like the smallest little situation, and it has only the smallest amount, but I only do like swipe, 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 swipe. And then I use a brush to blend it in. And I don't wear makeup foundation at all. I wear it once a week when I film, unless I'm going someplace. So yeah. Oh girl, you on Twitter, I can find you a thread. Okay. Yeah, I'm on Twitter. Just call me while you can send it to me. I rarely go on Twitter, but sometimes I check it. All right. So the next topic that we're going to talk about is the Betsy Ross flag. So for 4th of July, Nike tried to release some tennis shoes that had the Betsy Ross flag on it. And that is not the original, maybe it's the original flag, the flag with the circles of stars. So it has the stripes and it has the blue, but then it's a circle of stars. And they were going to put that on their shoes. But I think it was Colin Kaepernick who was like, stop, don't do that. That's racist. That flag represents a time in our history when like slavery was a thing. So we don't want to use that flag. That feels very Confederate. 99 people in this room. Can I get a thumbs up? There's 33 thumbs up. Thumbs up the video. Okay. So Colin Kaepernick did that and stopped Nike from making a huge mistake with that. And I'm just like, who are these people in this boardroom? Like, come on, you guys. I know some people are so proud of American history, girl, but it's not the best. It is not the best for many people, Like, not only is it offensive to Black people, I'm pretty sure it's offensive to Native Americans as well, girl. All right, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is the women's soccer. So the U.S. women's soccer team won the World Cup this year, and they actually beat, as far as ratings go, like I saw this everywhere. They really promoted the shit out of this. I didn't watch not one thing of it, but they promoted the shit out of it, and it was pretty big. And They won, and they had a parade for them, girl, and they were holding up signs that say parades are nice, but equal pay would be fine. So the women's soccer team does not get paid as much as the men by like a lot. I can't remember what it is, but they don't. I mean, a lot. So they're asking for equal pay, which I'm just like, I don't understand why it isn't equal pay, especially because this had their viewing of their final show. That's how much I watch sports. The viewing of their final game, I think, had a more of an audience than the men's soccer team. So I think that's really cool too. That's a victory as well. So I would like for everybody to get paid equally, but let's be real. Like in the NBA, I think the NBA is the most highest paid. NBA players are the most highest paid athletes of all the sports. And I saw this meme that was like football players looking at basketball players like this, but like MLB players looking at basketball players like this. I'm like, who knows how much hockey players make, girl? But so it isn't equal in general. And I definitely don't think that the WNBA needs to be paid as much as the NBA, just because of the audience that it brings in. But I do think that they could do a better job of promoting the WNBA and making it so that it was just as interesting. And I think then people would be interested. I mean, I'm not interested in any sport, you know what I'm saying? Except for tennis. And that's only if I'm at the actual thing. Like when I went to the US Open, it was very exciting. And I definitely would go see a basketball game for sure. Like I think any sport that I go to, except for baseball, because I went to a baseball game, child, shit was boring. You have to watch it on TV because it is a boring. But if I were going with friends and I were having a good time, you know what I'm saying? Like Chili Willy's, like I would definitely go to a live sporting event and not be bored. But watching it on TV, girl, not at all. They're each getting, P Punter says, they're each getting 200K with this win, and the men would have gotten $1 million each. Shit. Yeah, no, that's fucking, no, that's crazy. That's a, no. Like, that is rude. That is absolutely rude. I feel like I look like Cynthia, like Cynthia doll. I always say that about myself when I take my braids out, looking like Cynthia. Angelica's doll, you know, from the Rugrats. That's what I look like. Tamara says, I posted about it on my Facebook and ended up arguing with another woman about it. I was appalled. Oh, P Punter says MLB and NBA are where it's at financially. Oh, really? The MLB? I didn't know that. Shani says they should get paid more. I think that they have a better record than the men. I think the salary is based on sponsorship and advertisers, I guess. It sucks. Women athletes are not appreciated like men. Yeah, I agree. Except for maybe in like gymnastics and tennis. I think that Serena changed the game when it came to tennis. I think that she's like, I think that because she got so much, but I think it still depends on sponsors, right? Because you get paid two ways. You can get paid via sponsorships and you can get paid via the organization. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Oh, this cucumber challenge. So listen, there's two sides to things, right? I'm somebody who can look at somebody and be like, those aren't my morals, but I'm not going to judge you out loud for doing what you do. So I would never go on a cucumber challenge. Okay, so the cucumber challenges, there are these women who are on the social medias with a cucumber simulating fellatio, just deep throating and all kinds of stuff, right? And to me, I thought they were women who were like sex workers, but I guess they're not. And then Amber Rose got on the horn and started to defend them because they were being slut shamed. I think of Amber Rose as being a sex worker, though. Like, I mean, maybe she isn't anymore, but the fact is that she was a stripper, and to me, that's sex work. So while you're not actually having sex, like you're still a sex worker because you're using sexuality and your naked body in order to make money, or half naked body to make money. So to me, Amber Rose has a different thing, because she's like, I suck dick, we all suck dick. And I'm like, yeah, you know, people do, but like people don't do it on camera, and people don't show or simulate it on social media, I guess, to get clout or show their prowess in a certain function. Like, I don't want a man who's going to come after me because of that. But then I thought about it, like, what if there was a challenge the other way around, like a mango challenge? Like, what if people like took a mango and cut it and were just like in the mango? Like, would I be judging the men? And the truth is, it's like, yeah, like, I don't need to see that because I think that that's, for me, morally, that is private. But I would never, like, again, I would never go on there condemning these women because I'm like, you know what? These women just manage life differently than me. You know, they either don't care what their father thinks, he didn't have a good influence in their life, or they're so sexual as creatures that, like, they just don't care about those things. And that's on them. Like, what am I to do? Anissa says, I'm torn about the cucumber challenge. I'm for all for sexual freedom and doing what you want, but you're doing it for the pleasure of men on the internet and not necessarily because they want to, in my opinion. And that video in Walmart was disgusting. I shouldn't have to turn the corner in Walmart with my 6-year-old to see somebody choking on a zucchini. Oh shit, I didn't know there's something in Walmart about it, but you're right. I do think that there's a time and a place for things, but if you're somebody who's just, again, so sexual and like, love it and love the attention, then, like, you know, okay. I didn't see the one in Walmart, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. Victoria says, this is so stupid. Don't get sucked into social media. Girl, you know you're on YouTube right now, right? This is a social media platform. But yeah, like I if there's like 14-year-olds doing it because they think it's cool, like, you know, that's just the way we socialize women to seek the affection of men, and it's hard to not it's hard to do it, right? Because as a grown woman, I still sometimes seek the affection of men, but from a distance. Like, I'm working at a new building and people are like trying to make eye contact with me, and I'm just like, or men are trying to make eye contact with me, and I'm just like, I'm not interested. Thanks. Great. Like, I walked into the post office yesterday and this guy was like, oh, excuse me, beautiful lady. And I was this close to telling him off. And then I thought to myself, why are you getting angry about that? Like, but and then when he tried to like open the door for me, I saw him try to open the door for me, but the way the doors are set up in the post office is that there's 2 doors to enter. So I saw him like attempting to open the door because he saw me coming back in, because I went to my car for something, and I just like skirted to the next door. I'm like, don't open my door for me. And it's not because I'm like, I just feel like he's already somebody who took liberties by calling me beautiful. Like, you don't fucking know me. You don't know my situation. You don't know if I want your attention. I already felt like he was going to try to like make googly eyes at me or say some more slick shit. And I'm just like, no, like, I don't need a stranger on the street to say I'm beautiful like that. Like, I just feel like there's a way to do it. And maybe I'm being really picky, and I am being picky because I want to be treated in a certain manner. And I feel like men who take liberties with strange women are not to be trusted. Like, I just think that, like, you're being too much. Like, I'm sure you got a wife or a baby mama or a woman who thinks that she's your wife / is your baby mama and kids. And you're over here calling a stranger in the post office beautiful. And the argument from the men's side is like, well, maybe he was just trying to give you a compliment. I'm like, compliment your wife. Leave me alone. Like, and if so, then this is what I like. And this is picky, but I don't care. This is what I like. When I walk into a place and I see a man look at me and I'm like, oh, okay, he's like assessing me right now. If he's just like, excuse me, miss, or excuse me, sis, or excuse me, sister, I just want to say, I think you're really beautiful. So have a nice day. I'm like, you know what, sir? Thank you very much. I like your shoes or whatever, you know, and that's sometimes I do too. Like, I rarely ever do this, but whenever I see somebody who like takes me back, I'm always like, you're very handsome. And that's it. And I keep going. I'm not trying to talk to them. So like, it's just the most sometimes. And you might think like, oh, being told you're beautiful, like, is privilege and blah, 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 blah. I feel you. And I know that I'm like, whatever, but this sounds really stupid. I'm not even gonna say it because I sound like a fucking spoiled bitch. I don't want to sound like that. But I mean, there's 2 sides to every story. And like, living in New York City for as long as I've lived and have people catcalling and yelling at you and then like feeling like you owe them something because they gave you a compliment is just overwhelming sometimes. And like, I shouldn't have to deal with it because I staunchly believe if you wouldn't say it to a man, don't say it to me. If you wouldn't tell a man to smile, a strange man on the street, don't say it to me. If you wouldn't tell a strange man that he looks handsome on the street, don't say it to me. That is just the rule. And if you are trying to like catch my attention because you do want to talk to me and you possibly want to take me on a date, the way you approach me is to just be like, hey, miss, like I saw you, I like your style. Perhaps are you single? I'm single. Like, I know this is forward, but I would like to take you out. And I would be like, you know what, sir? Okay. I would. because it's respectful and it isn't like I'm a man and this is how I'm supposed to be and this is how you're supposed to act, and if you don't act this way, I'm gonna call you all kinds of names of bitch in the street. I'm not trying to be stuck up, but sometimes it's too much. And how much of like thank you am I supposed to do in my lifetime before it just becomes like, okay, thanks. Dark and Chocolate says, I accept all compliments. I do when it says it, and when it's said to me in a way that I can accept. When it's just like, oh, hey, beautiful. It feels very posturous. It feels like presumptuous. Is posturous a word? Did I say something that wasn't a word? It feels presumptuous to me. And like, I'm also, you don't know my situation. Like, I know I'm single AF, but you don't know that, right? Like, I could have my kid in the car. I could be like lesbian. I could be all kinds of things. And you're just like inserting yourself in my way in order to receive like some kind of attention from me. And I just don't like it. Okay, we are 40 minutes in. This is a long morning tea. What are you guys saying? I always say my dog just died. It's so funny. I never had a dog. Mind your business. I do the same thing with compliments, but I'm an introvert, so I keep it moving. That is what Laugh Through Life said. Victoria says, like you are a part of their hustle. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Victoria. Like I'm just a piece along the way of their day, you know? I don't feel special. I feel like it's something you just fucking do. Senia says, I just joined. Love the fact that you're here taking your hair down real AF. Thank you. Mrs. Nia said, I feel like that too. Saraya. Yes, Saraya, I have to like remember the phonetic spelling of your name. Saraya says, and I also remember the phonetic spelling of Ketaway's name too. Anyways, the problem is, you know, when it's not genuine, if they've told 10 women in the same day how beautiful are, it's just too lustful for me. That's not cute when it's not mutual. Yeah. Like he was an older man too. Like, I mean, who's to say he was older? I look young and I don't view myself as old as I am. And when I see women who are my age, I'm just like, oh, usually it's because they have kids and like a whole family. And I think that changes, you know, the way a woman moves in the world when they have a family. But like, I'm just like, oh, I dress like a fucking teeny bopper, like with all my crop tops and like my jean, you know, like I'm obsessed with jean. I've been obsessed with jean for like the last year. So I have a lot of jean shorts and like overalls and overall skirts. Like I love a jean situation. I just feel like I'm a teeny bopper bopping around. Like even like, I feel like a teenager the way I dress, not a teenager, but an early 20s person. And I don't even recognize it until I'm out with women my age. And I'm just like, oh, I'm just like a child. Oh, well. Let's see. Getaway. Hey, girl. Guys have to shoot a lot of shots to get one sperm in it all. You're right. But like I said, this man wasn't. That's the situation. Like you need to be able to see that there is a certain girl that you can say anything to, and then there's some women you can't. Like, and I feel like I carry myself in a way that says, oh, I just can't talk to her any kind of way. Like I need to approach her like respectfully, especially like me walking around and like I just came back from walking, you know, I'm exercising, like I have dust all over my shoes. And I have a fanny pack on, sunglasses, and I'm wearing a hat that says African American History Museum. So like, I feel like you need to look at my context clues, not my context clues. You need to look at me and assess the fucking situation. Like assess it. Also, even the way I say hi to people, like some guys will be like, there have been guys who have said hi to me, and then the way I respond to them makes them switch up their whole shit. And that's what I love. When they're like, oh, hey, they're like, hi. And I'm just like, hello. Because I literally say it like that. I say, hello. Which already indicates that I'm probably not like a lot of the bitches that you fuck with. Like, or a lot of the girls in this area. Like, I'm just not. I'm already, you know, greet you in a different way than you've probably ever been greeted. So then you need to switch it up. And so sometimes they'll be like, oh, how are you today? Like there's a moment of like shock where they realize that they need to ask me how I'm doing. And then I'm like, oh, I'm well, thanks. And he's like, good, good, good. Well, have a good day, sis. And I'm like, thank you, sir. Why can't we just have that kind of like interaction? Saraya says shooting lots of shots, then it's not real. It's just about whoever will say yes. I agree. Jackson P says sometimes holding the door for someone is just holding the door. Ooh, you're right. And I accept that, but that man was trying, he had already said, hey, beautiful. And it wasn't just that. Like I know the difference. And I think sometimes like when I'm having this conversation with people, they think that I don't know what's happening or it's a misunderstanding of some sort. And I'm like, no, it's not. I've been in this game for, for a while. I know when it's like salacious and when it's just like whatever. I didn't have shit I had nothing in my hand. It wasn't like, or did I have something in my hand? Oh, you know what? I did have something in my hand. I had a stack of t-shirts in my hand. So you're right. But somehow I still opened that door, you know what I'm saying? Because I am woman. And I just didn't want to open the door for him to be able to say anything more to me. So you're right, Jackson. You're right. You're right. Sometimes it is. And that in that moment he was trying. And he actually said that. He was like, oh, I was just trying to open the door for you. And I was just like pretending like I didn't know what he was trying to do. So I was just already annoyed from him calling me beautiful. I feel like that's, you don't know me. So anyways, that is that. But Jackson, thank you for bringing that up. You're right. All right. So girl, I'm hot. I had to do this for a while. Okay. Ariel is Black. And the folks on the internet, or some of the folks on the internet are very upset. Black Twitter done cast the whole show with Idris Elba as King Triton and a group of Black women who have multicolored wigs on. No, each Black girl in the picture has a different hair color, and they're like, these are Ariel's sisters. Like, they are going through completely casting the whole thing. They got Key and Peele as like Sebastian and Flounder. Someone had Snoop Dogg as Flounder. I was like, could you imagine that? He's like, hey, Ariel, look over here. So I thought that was cute. And there are some people who are upset about it, and I feel like it's a reimagining and we are in a different political climate. And, like, I think that it would be interesting. There's so many pictures of Halle. So the thing is, though, I only know them as Chloe and Halle. I had no idea that their last name was Bailey. So for a second there, people were like, why is Halle Berry going to be Ariel? Because they heard Halle Bailey and they thought Halle Berry. So anyways, yeah. So it's one of the Chloe and Halle sisters. Halle is going to be the Little Mermaid in the next live action. And I hope they keep her hair red. I hope that she's got like red hair in the sea. And again, so much beautiful artwork depicting her as Ariel. And we're going to be, listen, The Little Mermaid was the very first movie that I saw in the movie theaters. My dad took me and my brother to see The Little Mermaid, and I was so fucking excited. Okay, it was 1989, and your girl was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7 years old, and she was so happy. It was my first time in the movie theaters, and it was seeing such a great movie. And I remember like dancing and feeling so much joy when Sebastian was singing "The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake." Oh my God. I remember like literally being so excited, and my brother was excited too, even though he'll deny it to this day, but he was only like 4, so he doesn't know. I remember we were both jamming and my dad was sitting next to us. I don't know if that was his first time in the movie theaters, but my dad rarely ever goes to the movie theater. So movie theaters wasn't a big part of my childhood because my parents were like, we're not taking you to the movie theaters. We're not sitting in the movie. We're not paying $5 for a movie. But yeah, anyways. So yeah. And like $3.25 for kids. Like my parents were cheap. Well, not cheap, but they didn't have much money. So what are you guys saying? Okay. Hey, Wah. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Belle, Taylor, Quasi, Sebastian if he was straight. Mickey's here. Just look at the world around you, right here on. I feel like we're about to be up in the Little Mermaid the way we were up in Black Panther. Okay, we're about to be in there. And I can't wait to see the Lion King. There was a picture floating around of the cast of the Lion King looking very Black, and James Earl Jones. Ow, shoot. Punctured my thigh. James Earl Jones was not in the picture of the cast, and so part of me is like worried that he's not feeling well. Oh, girl, I've been watching James Earl Jones since Roots. You know what I'm saying? Like Alex Haley's Roots. I can't. If James Earl Jones were to pass, I'd be so sad, girl. It would be like how I felt when Maya Angelou died. Like, girl, I was boo-hooing, and my coworkers were looking at me like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, like it's even bringing tears to my eyes now, and I'm just like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for him, But I know that he's old, and I'm just really glad that he played the voice of Mufasa again. It makes me so sad. Who is playing Sebastian? Safari? I don't really know who Safari is. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Future, Safari, Meek Mills. There's another one like 21 Savage. Like, they're all the same person to me, and I know that they are not. But like, I don't know who they are. Also, like Young Miami and Meg The Stallion thought they were the same person. Like, who is Saweetie? Like, I don't know any of these women. I all think that they're like literally the same person. Not that they look alike. I just think they all came out at the same time, and I'm super confused about them. And that's why I again love Cardi so much, because to me she always stood out. She just didn't look like the rest of these. Like, they all look the same because they all have the same weave. I can't tell them apart. Also, I can't tell who Sierra is too. Is it Sierra? Is it Iman? Like, is it Cynthia Bailey? Who is it? Every time it's Sierra, I think it's Cynthia Bailey. I never know who it is. Quasi and the Hizzy. Everyone loves Quasi. Because Quasi listen, Quasi does a mixture, or Mickey does a mixture of like shade throwing and tea spilling and like knowledge dropping. Girl, you should have your own YouTube channel. I'd watch it. Hey, Simone. Anissa says Safari is the one with the monster eggplant emoji. Oh. He's like the Jamaican one. Yeah, he cute. Megan is the one that's like 6 foot tall. So Weedy is a rapper from the Bay. Yeah, girl. Meg stays on the beat. Young Miami, not so much. I thought one thing I did notice about the City Girls is that they don't never be on beat. I'm like, did they just record this song without any music underneath it, and then somebody just put their voice on top of it? Senia says Megan dresses like a WWE wrestler, but I love it. I just need to see a different picture of them, and then here's like their music and see what they do, because right now they're just names. They're just faces on a who is Reginae? Who's that? The Shade Room talks about her all the time. No idea who she is. Reginae Carter. Like, what does she do? Who is she? No idea. Anyways, so let's move on to the next topic. I'm really excited for Ariel and Halle Berry. Trump had a parade for the 4th of July, and it got rained out, and everybody was like memeing about how it was an act of God, and then how like nobody showed up anyway, so it was fine. Rami Malek. Okay, Rami Malek. This is an interesting story. So Rami Malek is an Egyptian actor. He was in The War at Home. He was in iRobot, or no, not iRobot, Robot. And he was also the lead of the movie about, what's his name? Freddie Mercury. So what's that group called? Is this the real life? Is it just fantasy? Queen. So he played the lead singer of Queen in the song, in the movie Bohemian Rhapsody. And he was recently cast as the villain in the next Bond movie. But he demanded that villain have no political or religious affiliation. So he's not about to sit up here and be a fucking Muslim terrorist or like an Egyptian terrorist. Like, that's not what he's about to do. And he said, yeah, Freddie Mercury. And he said that that's what he demanded. And I 100% love him for that. Not only do I think he's quite handsome, I think, and if he had a beard, girl, I would be all over him. I think that it's really responsible for him as a Middle Eastern man, African/Middle Eastern man, because he's from Egypt, which is, in Africa. But as a Middle Eastern man, I think it's really important for him to fight for his community and demand that the U.S. stop making anybody from that region a terrorist. Because that's not the whole story, right? Not every Arab person is Muslim, as you all know by my good friend Chris L. Farah. The L is for luxury. What did Lynn J do? Oh, what is this challenge? I don't know. Tell me what the challenge is. Queen girl. Yeah, I know. Wait, what is this challenge? I missed it. Oh, Little Wayne's daughter? Who's Little Wayne's daughter? Carter! Why is she famous? Does she sing? Or is she just because she's his daughter? Was she the one that had her own Sweet 16? Like, remember when MTV did Sweet 16? Was that her? Girl, a long time ago. I would outquote all of you under the table with the Little Mermaid. Oh, girl. I mean, if we want to do a special video about it. If we want to do a special video about it, I mean, we can. We want to fight in these streets about it, we can. I said I would quote. We're all like, challenge! Accepted. All right. So next thing that's happening is Lady Gaga just announced that she's coming out with a new line of makeup, and it's going to be exclusively sold on Amazon. So that's good for her monetarily wise. And I hope that it's good product. I hope she takes a long time and works on it, because is she going to outdo Fenty? I don't know. But I think it's good for that women are out there doing their thug thizzle. I wish that, I mean, I don't think everyone can have a makeup brand. I mean, because, you know, like everybody does. What's her name? The one with the lisp, who was a child actress, blonde hair, was an alcoholic at 13. Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore has her own makeup line, racist AF. It's in like Walmart and such places. And the skin tone doesn't go darker than this. Okay. Like, I'm just like, girl, how are you gonna come up with a whole ass makeup line and then not make deeper tones? Like, that put a sour taste in my mouth when I saw that shit. Also, Salma Hayek has one. It also doesn't go into deeper tones. Who else has one? Oh, Jessica Alba. She has a skincare line, and I don't be messing with that either. Like, I don't care. So, I mean, I see why you do it. I see why people do it. I just hope that it's good. Like, to me, Kat Von D has a really good makeup line, and like a Lady Gaga, Kat Von D style situation would be cute. But like, is it going to be good? Does Lady Gaga like? She into makeup like that? Is she going to be, you know, in the laboratories with the chemists, making sure that the product is good? Like, who knows? But she is showing like lots of different races of people in the sneak peek. So it is going to have like a very, obviously now, ever since Rihanna did it, no one can now back away from coming out with all shades of the rainbow, you know? It's no longer going to be socially acceptable, even though Too Faced tried to do that. But then they had to come back with the extended line. But yeah, are you going to talk about ASAP Rocky in Sweden? Have no idea what that is about. I'm finding out I wasn't the only Black girl, but did y'all have the soundtrack too? I was obsessed. I know I just watched the movie over and over again. I didn't have the soundtrack. Love Lady Gaga. She knows a lot about the industry. I think that she'd be pretty good. Yeah, I like her too. Okay, I was confused about Drew's makeup line because I watched a YT who had her on and she doesn't know makeup or wear it much. I love her though, just saying. Yes, Reginae had the Sweet 16 special and she was on Growing Up Hip Hop. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't watch Growing Up Hip Hop. Little Mermaid was live, wanted Finn so bad. Yeah, I loved Little Mermaid. I also really loved Mulan, which they're coming out with a new Mulan, and that looks like it's about to be dope AF. And I'm also really excited that the actors in it don't look like American. They look like Chinese people from China. Like, you know, there's like an American look that that is palatable for an American audience when it comes to it's so interesting. Within every culture of people, there are those who look like what an American, like, okay, for example, me, right? I'm American. My mother is American. My father's Belizean. Neither of those people get asked on the daily if they are African. Wahimalino asked on the daily. So something about their mixture of stuff makes me look more African. My siblings don't get asked if they're African. I get asked if I'm African all the time. So there's some kind of mixture within my face that makes me look more African than anything, which is fine. But I know that that is not palatable for many American audiences, right? Like Sierra, who looks like I can't tell her apart from anybody. Sierra, who looks just like whatever, is to me what Americans find palatable as a Black look. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, So I think that happens within every culture of women. Like I think it happens within every culture. There are some people who look like it even happens with like Eastern European, like or like European folks. Like Tilton Swinby or whatever her name is, looks very not American. Whereas like Jennifer Aniston has an American look. But they're both, I mean, obviously there are different tones of white, which because Tildy is like the palest. But you get what I'm saying? Like, so I think that I like the fact that the Asian people who were in it that I saw so far are like, look like they're from China. Like, look traditional Asian to me, what I would consider traditional Asian. What are we talking about? I thought you were African, lol. They needed to change her age because Ariel was 16 and that movie ran off of Eric. Not today, boo. Yeah, I bet you Ariel's gonna be like 21. She's gonna be drinking age and everything. He's being held over there and unsanitary conditions, and there's a man. What are you guys talking about? Very true. What culture looks? Yeah. He got into a fight with some gentlemen who were who? Ooh, wait. What happened? What are you guys talking about? ASAP Rocky's in jail in Sweden, and apparently they are holding him in violation of the Geneva Convention. Ooh. He got into a fight with some gentlemen who were following him making comments. Ooh, he's being held over there and in unsanitary conditions. There's a man with mental instability in the cell next to him making noises all night. Ooh. Wow, that's crazy. But that's crazy. That's why you can't do things when you go to other countries. Like I get that like he was being harassed, but like sometimes you just don't never know. I'd be scared. But you wouldn't think that it would happen in Sweden, especially in unsanitary conditions. I always think of Sweden as being more forward and more like humane than us. Because I think of Europe in general, like certain parts of Europe, they have already been through a lot of like adversity and stuff because they are an older civilization. Like as far as industry goes, like you can say that the US is like old, like they have people here who've been here since like the beginning of time. But as far as like industry goes, those countries are older because they've had industry longer. And sometimes with industry comes like a lot of social classes and political things that those countries have had to overcome to be better. Like London is super clean, right? Compared to New York City. And I know New York City has had plagues and like whatnot, especially typhus, or there was like there was like something that happened in the early 1900s, like some kind of plague with a woman who was like, had something and she was cooking for people and she spread it to everybody. Mary something, like Dirty Mary or something. Anyways, but like Europe has had that too, and like several different times throughout their history. So London is fucking clean, and I think it's because they've had plagues and like all kinds of shit for so long, and now they're just like, look, we're an older civilization, we need to clean up our city. ASAP Rocky, the Black community should not support him, says Shaniwa. Jackson P says, you wouldn't think the U.S. would have kids in cages though, but here we are. You're right, Jackson. You're right. Lynn J says, you went to England recently. Did you ever feel you needed to prepare for cultural differences? Oh, absolutely. My thing was like, I'm not going to get into a fight with anybody here because I don't want to end up in prison. Like, Sweden is the most like polite country, and their jails can't be unsanitary. I don't know, but I'm saying that sounds funny. Oh, Typhoid Mary, yes, typhoid, yes. Thank you guys. I was like, what was her name? Typhoid Mary. Yeah, she was passing typhoid around because she was cooking in kitchens, and not washing her hands properly, which is why we have sanitation things the way we have them now, because of people, shitting and wiping their butt and not washing their hands properly before they go cook people's food. That's what you get when you have people cooking your food. You got to be careful, make sure they're sanitary. But anyways, I hope that, I don't know about what's his name in Sweden, but I hope that is wrong. And that's it, you guys. Oh my God, we did an hour and 3 minutes. I've only got a handful of braids left to do. And that's it for this week's episode of, I just want to point this out. Can you guys see how thin this braid is compared to this braid? Like if I could put them side by side, if you could see how thin the difference is. And like, This is one of the first ones she did because it's the bottom one on the row. Like, girl, should have kept them all like this. Anyways, lesson learned. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I have 119 people in this room. If I could get some thumbs up so that people can be navigated towards this thing so that everyone can see me taking down my braids on the social medias. I feel like there's going to be some good memes made out of this if my video quality is decent. When I watch the playback, sometimes my video quality sucks, but when I'm watching it right now, it's amazing. Oh, Flicker the Flame. Thank you so much for the super chat. You guys have a fantastic evening. Day, actually. What time is it? Ooh, I got to work out. I got to wash my hair. I got to do twists. Then I got to go to work. One of those things is not going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm probably going to work out, put my hair in a deep condition, and then wrap it up and go to work and let it sit in that conditioner and then come home and rinse it out and wash it. That's probably what I'll do. Call Brad Mondo. I don't know who that is. Did you guys talk about the Disneyland fight? I did not. Didn't talk about it, but I'm out. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Morning Tea. Please leave a comment down in the comment section if you have anything to say about the topics that I talked about. Remember to give me full details so that we can have a conversation because I do want to learn. So if you guys have a difference of opinion or another perspective, write in full sentences and explain your context of what you're saying and why you're saying it, and so that we can have like an enlightened conversation. But thank you so much, and thank you so much, Lynn J. Oh, Lynn J, email me. I'm gonna give you a shirt for all your hard work. Email me at justcallmewa@gmail.com and give me your address so that I can send you a shirt. The shirts are unisex, and they I have small, medium, and large. I don't know if I have that much extra large, but I might. So let me know what you need and then I can get you something. So my next live, I do my lives on Wednesdays at noon most of the time. So I will try to alert you guys when I can't do one, but Wednesdays at noon is when I have them scheduled in my phone to happen. All right. Thanks, guys, so much. Have a fantastic day. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's